live. Yes, we are live and welcome. Oh my God, welcome to another fantastic conversation. And today with me, I have the beautiful and incredible Anne Barratt, who we are honored to be one of our sponsors. Without you, Anne, Harmony Fest would not happen. So thank you. Truly appreciate it. And let's start, Anne. I'd love for you just to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about, empowering health frequencies. Plus, how did you get into making jewelry? I'd love to know that too.
Yeah, so I'm Anne Barratt and I have a holistic health business. But part of health and well-being is also doing what brings you joy from the inside out. And that's how I came to creating my jewelry as well, to help people shine from the inside out, but also from the outside in. But the inspiration I've had the inspiration for a very long time. It's connected to my heartfelt connection to my cultural heritage, which is from Estonia. And I've been trying on and off to get that going even longer than I've been running my empowering health business. And just I couldn't find ways to make the jewelry cost effective. And then after devastating news and deep depression as a result of not being able to have children, my goddaughter offered to come into the business with me, into the Baltic folk jewelry business. And that's how we then created and birthed something new together so that I can leave a legacy for others. And also the inspiration behind it is also that other people can then pass on the jewelry to their grandchildren, for example, as gifts and as a connection to their Baltic cultural heritage. But they're all universal symbols in the jewelry. And that's what we love about it. And with Empowering Health, I work on many different levels. So I combine the most ancient of theories with the Chinese theories and the 5-element theory, and kinesiology incorporates that together with the science of anatomy and physiology. And then I also incorporate the most latest in wellbeing technology in the AO scanner technology. And the AO scanner works with your frequencies remotely, so you don't even have to be in the room with me. And like in the old way, you used to have to hold devices in your hands and put feet on copper plates for the machine to actually read your frequencies. Now it doesn't even need to do that. The technology has been so advanced; it's now multi-layered. It incorporates what have I got? 5 different frequencies combined, so that it then determines, what you need to balance, what frequencies are out of alignment in context of your emotional health and physical health, and then how you can support yourself, whether it be with homeopathic type remedies, whether it be just imprinting frequencies into something that you're wearing, whether it be with sound frequencies. It has like the full scope of every single tuning fork in there as well, because it's all frequencies, and we are all frequency beings, and like we're like a little radio beacon ourselves. And just as someone can call you on your mobile phone and that information get there, or otherwise your radio, you can get your music through to your phone or to your iPad. Frequencies can also be channeled directly to you from the AO Scanner app. And the idea is behind the inventor, he wants everybody to have well-being in their own hands and everybody to take control of their own well-being and be educated about what's going on for their health. And that's also important for me. Like I say that I'm a teacher and a channeler of an interpreter of what someone's body is trying to tell them. It's not me to say, oh, we need to do this, this, and this. There's no one solution fits all. Everybody has a different past, whether it be a past in this life, what your parents have instilled with you, with what your how neurology has been programmed, but also we have our past lives and lessons that we may not have learned from that time that we've chosen to learn in this time, or otherwise it could be via the genealogical tree as well, and things that you may be carrying for them that need to come to an end. And so with the work that I do, it's all holistic. There's working, I reference the triangle of health. And so one side is our mental, emotional, and spiritual aspects. The other is physical and structural aspects. And the third side is our biochemical, which relates to all our nutritional aspects. And so I'm qualified in kinesiology, which is one of the few modalities which actually ensures me and covers me to work with a person holistically. And I also, because there's so much to kinesiology, I wanted to learn more about specific things, topics like hypnotherapy. Kinesiology incorporated hypnotherapy as one of its tools, but I wanted to know more and more and more about how the mind works and what's the science behind the mind. Because for me, I need to understand the whys. So to help also clients to understand the whys. And so I'm a qualified hypnotherapist. I'm also qualified to teach. I'm a Reiki master. I'm also a qualified counselor. And I've been just incorporate all this into every session that I do with clients. But I also offer lots of free resources because I know I can't reach everyone. I don't have the time or energy to work with that many people every week. So I place a lot of free resources onto my YouTube page. And so there's lots of free guided meditations and other techniques to help people support themselves as needed.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you ever so much for that. And oh my God, you've had such a very interesting life, like doing, the healing, the empowering healing and health and stuff like that to help yourself and to others, plus your journey. And then you're also doing the jewelry. It's amazing. So thank you so much for sharing that. I'd love to ask you, Anne, because I know you've had a challenging time with your health. You mentioned that you found out at a young age that you're not able to have children, but now you have a goddaughter, which is really nice. But to help you overcome your health challenges, your chronic health challenges, and also the effects, I think you've also experienced a lot of bullying and things like that. I believe that you use kinesiology to help you with that.
Yes.
And how did that actually help you?
Well, it's many levels. I got to throughout my, I'm just going backwards, I'll keep a brief history. So throughout my schooling, primary school, high school, I was bullied, and then that went into work environments as well. And it wasn't until later in life as an adult, reflect back and you start working on yourself, that you realize that, part of that is I've chosen to interpret their behaviors and internalize them in a certain way. And because the very first time that this came to the initial trigger was when I was in primary school, and it was during my developmental years. And so I was happy, but then a girl got angry at me for being happy to be at school. And it's like my wiring was coming together in my mind. And then it then short-circuited with that information, because she was teaching me that I shouldn't be happy at school. And then I couldn't make decisions for myself, and I couldn't trust my own emotions. And that's when all those self-doubts, and I started questioning myself, and then I started doubting myself, and ended up with low self-esteem. And then more and more, I started attracting more and more of that into my life because of my programming. And so more and more, because that was being reinforced, that I shouldn't trust myself, I shouldn't trust my own thoughts and opinions, and that my own thoughts and opinions weren't right, because people kept telling me that they're not, and that I wasn't good enough, and all that my wiring kept reinforcing that as well within my programming. And which then that's a form of stress. Any form of stress then starts to manifest in the future as illness if not dealt with. And so when I got to a point where nothing was helping. I was at a point where doctors just kept giving me medicine that would knock me out for days. And I can't function like that. I had to work. I needed an income to pay a mortgage. And it's like, this isn't right. I can't keep going like this. And it's just no way to live. And it's without money coming in, what do you do? And so I kept looking I thought, oh, I want to understand how then the body works, because the body hasn't changed. It is what it is. And I need some way of understanding that. I'd already studied energy work, metaphysical work, psychic development, and Reiki. But that never actually told me how the body worked. And it was my body that was suffering. So I really wanted to connect the physical with the spiritual. And then kinesiology helped bring that all together for me, because I'd spent thousands already with other natural health practitioners and still hadn't got the answers years on. I thought, I've got to learn for myself, realizing it was a 3-year full-time course, that I'd be getting lots of balances in that time as well. So I'd rather pay to do the course, I'd be getting lots and lots and lots of balances every week. And in that part of the process, I was healing. And sure enough, after doing that, as well as then I did mindset training after that as well, it's all helped come together to make me who I am today, and who is a healthy being, able to run my own business, have the energy to do so, have money coming in, be married, have a new mortgage, all those positive things come into your life when you start balancing your body as well.
It
And
does. Yeah, it does, doesn't it? It's amazing stuff happens, which is good. And thank you so much for sharing that. And I'm assuming now that you use kinesiology in your practice, as well as your scanner, which I'd love to know more about too. But how else, like, how do you actually help clients to balance their emotional and their physical health and to find the root cause of their struggles?
often emotions become suppressed.
Yes.
And so with kinesiology, and they're hidden, because once it's suppressed, it's like they're hidden underneath. And then over the years, another emotion comes on top of that, another emotion on top of that, another one on top of that. And according to Chinese theory, which kinesiology uses, emotions get assigned to different organs. And in that, we reference the Chinese 5-element theory, which
Yes.
is yin and yang in more detail, and works with wood, fire, earth, metal, and water, and then all the meridians that an acupuncturist uses. And these are all connected to muscles in the body as well as many other different acupoints. And so within each of these are emotions. And I reference this emotion chart, I reference the amygdala emotion chart, and through muscle testing help. And there's other emotion charts as well I use. And their subconscious mind will tell me what it is that they need to know through muscle testing. The muscle testing looks for where a weakness within their muscular response, and a weakness happens when we're exposed to or hear anything that is not in alignment with the body.
Mm.
And it's like, we're either, if we do whole body muscle testing, we're either drawn to something or we're repelled away from something. And same with this, it's like, well, the worst case scenario I use as an example is, when we used to watch Sons and Daughters on TV back in the 70s or 80s, and someone was told bad news and then they'd faint. And so that's when the brain does the shutdown to work out where it's got to send the helper cells to bring you back online. And so I'm just looking for that as a micro movement in muscle testing. And then that helps to identify what is the primary emotion that needs to come to conscious awareness, so that the energy of it can be released from wherever it's being stored and out to the universe, so they don't even have to remember it after a session.
Absolutely, which is wonderful, and thank you. And we definitely want to know more, but I'd like to go into, your frequency, the technology, the AO scanner, which sounds very, very interesting, especially when you said it can do 5 different frequencies. So tell us about that, and how do you incorporate it into your practice, and have you seen any results, impact that it has?
Yes, or even on my own recently. So it uses Tesla, bioresonance, quantum frequencies, radionics, and Rife frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts, like, there's so many applications to it, but just at its very core, it starts by scanning your voice. And your voice and the tones that come out are a representation of what's happening with your autonomic nervous system. So essentially, it can do a scan of your whole body and tell you what's out of frequency, and then to provide the supporting frequencies to bring you back into a state of harmony. I incorporate it either, if someone comes from kinesiology, I use it as one of the tools. It's like I always ask, like, once we get to that stage of doing our balances, then it's like, what do I need to do? Do I use the digital database? Do I use hypnotherapy? Do I use bioresonance? And so if bioresonance comes up, and then I use it in that context. But I do have clients who come specifically for bioresonance therapy. Like, I had someone reach out to me because their wife was couldn't get off the lounge, and he was really worried. And in the past, bioresonance therapy was the only thing that helped with her chronic fatigue. And so he brought her up the next day to experience the frequencies, and she was able to walk out here and drive home, whereas he had to drive her here. And just within a short amount of time, improve her frequencies, and also to help them identify what was contributing to her state of being in that moment. I won't share for privacy reasons, but I'll share my own experience recently. I had what felt like a heart attack and ended up in emergency. And it was just like a real tightening. My heart my blood pressure elevated all of a sudden, and I'd never had that experience before. So I was in the emergency all day as they were trying to work out what was going on. They said it wasn't a heart attack. And the only thing they diagnosed it as stage 2 hypertension. But then what triggered the hypertension? It's like I mentioned that I'd previously had Hashimoto's. And they said, well, yes, that could have triggered it. But then what triggered the Hashimoto symptoms for the thyroid? And I couldn't think of anything myself because I hadn't done anything that morning. I was really relaxed and I'd only just woken up, was just getting my morning coffee, and then that's like the energy just came, like overtook me, and then the cramping, and sat down. And so the next day, as I was home, and I had an appointment online with my regular GP afterwards, I thought I'll scan and see what the scanner tells me was a contributing factor to my heart. And you can choose to scan just certain body parts if you want, or the whole body. And so I thought I'll just scan the heart. And then there's another aspect to it where you can see the data behind the data. And in that report, the data behind the heart data, the thing with the most that hits in context of the heart was mold frequencies.
Wow.
And so I was like, mold? That's a bit weird. Like, why all of a sudden? And I just couldn't think of, how could that be? Like, was it maybe I've just been exposed randomly? And it wasn't until I was having a conversation with my doctor and just getting her medical opinion on mold contributing to this type of heart response that I remembered actually while I was having my shower the morning before, I did actually clean some mold out of, between one of the tiles. And it's like, oh my God, I've probably hacked at it and breathed it in. And then it's triggered that response because during the night I'd woken up with a migraine as well. And
Yes.
before this heart response. And so, yeah, and she said, yes, agreed that was most likely the trigger. And sure enough, like by supporting myself with mold elimination and use the frequencies, I've set up a custom playlist to send myself specific frequencies to help with a detoxification and healing process. It was, all symptoms were gone within 5 days.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible when that happens. So thank you for sharing. Now, just a quick question about that. Is it only people that you can see in person, or are you able to do all your treatments with anyone else, with people online all over the world?
I could work with people online anywhere in the world, and people can subscribe to it themselves. They don't even have to see me, and they can have that device and do their own scans as often as they like. It's actually a great way to clear and cleanse energy and protect yourself every day. You can infuse cleansing and clearing and protection into your crystals with it as well, and or into your drinking water. So I do what's called an easy scan every day, and then it tells me what supplements I'm actually deficient in that day. And then and other things that are my other frequencies I might need. And so I can imprint those frequencies just into my drinking water. And so that I'm sipping that throughout the day as well. And yes, so it's easy to subscribe to. Like I have on my website, my standard website, there's a link to the bioresonance, and then you can subscribe yourself. It's only 149 US per month, which is nothing compared to what this technology used to be. Like that's like a large coffee every day, and some people are buying 2 coffees, so it's even cheaper than that. And I think your well-being is more important than buying your coffee outside at a cafe. And so all I need from someone to start with is just a recording of their voice, which they can send me at any time, day or night, remotely, and their personal details, like first name, last name. I need their email address to send the frequencies to, like the music frequencies to help with emotional support. Then their age, their birth date, their height, and their weight. And that's it, really. And then that's where we start from. And then over time, the more scans you do, the more the scanner gets to know your frequencies and even get more and more insights.
Wonderful. It sounds interesting. I'm definitely going to go and check it out. And for everyone who is watching, and we do have quite a few people watching, please pop in the comments if you have any questions for Anne. Let us know what you like about the conversation. But click on the links in the comments and visit Anne's stall as soon as you possibly can, because you've got 2 stalls. You've got your Empowering Health stall and your Baltic Jewelry stall. So do check all that out. It's very, very interesting. And those links, if they haven't been put in yet, they will be put in very, very soon. I will put in your Baltic one very right now. So Anne, tell us a little bit about, because you have such a wonderful, like I said, a diverse range. We need more conversations. Because we're going to have to finish up very, very soon. But tell us about the jewelry more.
Yes, so the jewelry designs come from his two of the necklaces, which is
Yes,
designed to also be worn together. This one's our signature piece called the Baltic Amulet, and the design itself is inspired by the embroidery that's on the national costumes that we wear. And so my parents were from Estonia. I wasn't born there, but I have been very involved in the Estonian community in the past when I was growing up. And I even did it for my HSC, my high school certificate as a language. And it's all symbolic. So because it all goes, pre-Christian times to pagan times, where symbology has lots of meaning behind it all. And in the center of this pendant is the North Star. And
yes,
the North Star has so many, well, the symbol represents so many different things. Like, and the North Star is your guiding light, following your purpose. It's also a time of harvest and abundance. It's also a symbol of protection. So I wear the pendant mostly particularly when I'm working with clients, as a symbol of protection of my heart and energy. And it represents the national flower of Estonia, which is also the cornflower, which is one of my favorites. I love cornflower blue. And it sits then, of course, in the center of circles, and it's like the circle of life. And infinite, it's a pagan symbol for infinity before the 8 symbol came into play. And then surrounding the North Star is roses. So we've got open roses and rose buds, which represent love, of course. And then this is also the same type of flowers that we have here, so but in a row, right? And then these two can be worn together. And then everything is based off and incorporating these two, the flowers and the North Star. And so I'm also wearing a cuff ring and North Star actual ring. And then there's a more delicate bangle as well, but it's not so delicate because I've got chunky hands, chunky wrists, and the jewelry is also made to be worn by people like who are Northern European, who have bigger, strong bone structure, and we've got farming heritage. And so we've designed it all with little gaps, for example, so the ring can be adjusted to fit your finger, especially at times when we're postmenopausal and we're putting on that finger swell and then they go down different times of the year. And then we have this collection. So this is the bracelet that matches the amulet, the bangle that I just showed, and then the cuff bangle as well to match the cuff ring that I'm wearing. And that's, for me, is like my Wonder Woman cuffs. I remember watching Wonder Woman, her being empowered and strong with her gold cuffs. And we've made it so that it's affordable. And like the most expensive piece is the cuff at $169.
wow,
This is brass coated in silver, because if we'd made it in silver, we did look to have 100% silver, but silver's so expensive at the moment.
yes,
And we really want to make it affordable so people can have it in their hands. And would have cost us over $1,000 just from wholesale price, let alone then what we need to charge other people.
yeah.
And this one is $72, for example, and this one's only $49. Like, so even though this has got more silver in it, it's a smaller charm, and we just base it on what we're charged and just put a small markup on it. And then there's the matching North Star rings. Oh, and then the earrings as well, which are my favorites. So these are the long flowers. They're $97 because they're light, but there's more silver in that. And then there's the single drop as well, which was actually inspired by the Estonian folk dancers in Sydney, because we had only the triple drop. But they couldn't dance in those ones. They get they're too long to dance in, and so they asked us to create a shorter version, which they see as. Oh, and then of course the very smallest ones are the beautiful North Star studs, which are only 22 Australian dollars.
Wow,
27 Australian dollars.
incredible. And all this is available through your store?
Yeah, balticfolk.com.au. It's on a Shopify site.
Yes, yes, plus your stall album here. So do go and check that out for everyone who is watching. Like I said, we do have quite a few people. So, Anne, before we wrap it up, because unfortunately we do have to go, we have a masterclass coming up.
I'm back at 4 o'clock and 4:20 as well with my virtual market stalls.
Yes, 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 you will be back soon. And I'm really looking forward to that, to hearing more. And I said, I just want to thank you so much for being a sponsor. And also, is there anything else that I could have asked you? Is there anything else that you'd like to share?
Oh, I just wanted to share in context of the AO scanner, I forgot to mention that if you get 3 people signed under you, then you don't actually have to pay anything for it, then it becomes free. So it's great for those people that are already coaches and want to share with their clients. It's not free as in money, but free as in once you build up your points, you have 3 people under you, those your points will cover your membership, and which is fantastic. Like, where to get that from?
Thank you ever so much. I mean, this has been a joy, and I'd love to talk to you more. Really, really do. And just thank you. Really, seriously, thank you for being our sponsor. I'm looking forward to your lives this afternoon. And I'm going to go check out both your stores because what you've told me has got my interest up. I love your jewelry. I love what you're doing and creating a legacy for, for the people of Estonia. It's really wonderful. And Oil Frequency, just like to honor you for helping people in the world to empower themselves by looking after their healthcare.
Very important to me.
It is. So thank you ever so much.
Thank you.